What's going on, everybody? Welcome to XCFL Live Around the League. Instead of coming at you with a broadcast this week, because the timing was, we thought Advance was going to be later, so we didn't think we had a game we could do, and then Advance moved up, and then we did have games scheduled, so here we are. We're just going to do a little podcast, kind of, circle back, kind of look at the whole season. Also, let me know if you guys can hear me in the chat. You guys, I know you guys can hear me, but we'll get into it. Let me know if you can hear me. If not, this whole intro is for nothing, and I'm glad because it's a bad one. But I got Bracket, Guac, and Quacks with me. I got the whole admin squad. Guac, how you doing tonight, sir?
Oh, dude, we're ripping and rolling, man. Excited to get this thing started.
Awesome. I have confirmed they can hear me, so that's good. Bracket, what about you? It's been a minute since we've done broadcasts. We haven't really done many podcasts lately.
Doing awesome, man. I'm excited to get back into this.
And then Quacks gets to join us for the first time in a minute, really. He does all the graphics for us, but then never gets to enjoy his graphics on stream with us. So how we doing, sir?
You know damn well he just spends that hiding. What did you say? You know damn well Quacks is just hiding. He does the graphics and then doesn't want to talk.
Hey.
No. It's the worst time possible for me as a California boy.
It's 7 p.m. for you.
Yeah, the middle of everything that I'm responsible to do in life.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
Like,
yep.
Hey babe, instead of having dinner, I'm gonna go talk about fake football players. So that's cool with you. I know.
I'll see you in an hour.
Yeah, I'm gonna go talk about 20-year-old prospects that I might draft. Yeah, I know. That's a tough sell right there. All right, well, I kind of figured we wouldn't get too many viewers live tonight, so I'm going to make sure it's uploaded on YouTube. We'll get it posted in Discord just in case people missed it. I just like to have the live option. One, it's easier for us to like record, flip screens around. We can share Neon, we can share the Xbox screen, and then it makes it for an easy video to watch for everybody on their way to work or late at night or whatever. So, or Riot at 3 o'clock in the morning, Brian when his child is pooping on him, whatever it might be, but... let's go ahead and get into it, kind of just with the title around the league. We're going to kind of bounce around the league. We'll look at some standings, kind of look at the playoff race as it's heating up here. We're just entering into week 15, and where last year the AFC was all done by like week 15, 16 last year. All those teams were clinched basically. It just was seeding, and the NFC had like 5 spots clinched. So this year, I think going into this week, I think the Giants are the only team who has technically clinched a playoff spot. There's a couple of teams that would really have to screw up. Did you?
We have a Giants user?
We have the Giants user, and it's not Michael Chadwick. Brian said currently his child is shitting on him, so that's good. But yeah, you got Vikings and Carolina both at 11-2. So for them to miss the playoffs, they'd literally have to lose all 4 and have somebody with 7-6 win 4 straight. So, but let's go AFC first. Get that one out of the way because obviously. But currently, I'm gonna flip to
All right.
I'm gonna flip to my stream real quick, just so we can kind of walk through what we're talking about here. We did. I don't know how we missed it, but I'm glad we didn't broadcast it because the time changed. But it would have been nice to broadcast Jets Ravens, considering that was, I think, number 1 and number 2 in the AFC at the current moment when they played each other. What?
Still are.
Was. Oh, I thought somebody just joined. Oh, they still are. Oh, I thought somebody else just joined. I was like, who is that? All right, let me flip to that screen for us, and let's get into the AFC playoff picture. Jets lead the way 10-3. Ravens and Browns. I think, does he own the tiebreaker over you, Quacks, or do you guys play one more time?
We play one more time, but he did beat me in the first game.
So that's what puts him in the 2 seed right now. Obviously, you dropped to the 5 seed because of that. VBD just had a big loss. Riot gets his first win Bengals gets a win, his first game back in a couple weeks, and takes down the Dolphins last week. And then you got a whole stockpile of teams: Broncos, Texans, Chargers, Raiders, Titans, kind of all within, a game or 2 games. Those last couple spots. Currently, I believe the Colts are beating down the Titans as the last time I looked, which Chaos had a route to the playoffs, even though he was kind of being negative, saying his season was over. But this was one that could have got him to 7-7. He could have kind of made his way in. Who, without the obvious answer, I mean, it's probably Quacks, but Bracket, let's start with you. Who's the current favorite in the AFC right now?
I think it's Brian.
Yeah.
I think it's Brian. He is commanding the ground game, and anytime you can eat up time, score effectively, and not make mistakes on offense, you can do really good things in this game.
Yeah, Genty, monster season, 1,800 yards,
Mhm.
averaging 9 yards a carry, 21 touchdowns, a massive 142 yards per game. So he's definitely the workhorse of that offense. And then
Imagine if
Fields,
Brian actually drafted.
what'd you say?
I said, imagine if Brian actually drafted and built
Yeah,
a good
dude.
team. He would be
He
so much better than he is.
I
Or
think,
like trained his players,
dude,
or
I think,
Yeah.
I think
participated in the coach abilities.
I think some people owe Brian an apology though, because when Brian traded Hall and Sauce Gardner for Genty, the whole league was like, "What are you doing, you
Oh
idiot?
no,
He's
he still
slower."
loses that trade.
I
Now
don't know,
don't
dude.
flip
Dude,
this around. Genty's way worse off back. He's just got 206 carries.
dude,
Okay,
he's averaging 142 yards a game though. Look at these stats: 146,
yeah,
158,
yep.
116, 187, 218, 238, 110, 2 like. I mean, I don't know. This it's the guy he wanted. He made it happen. Sauce has been passed around a couple times now, so that that whole. I think that deal worked out for him because I don't know if Brees. I don't know if Brees could be doing this. He said, "Bracket, stop it." Quacks, what about you? You can pick yourself. Who's your current favorite in the AFC? And if you want to pick yourself, who's the scariest team to play against?
No, I don't think it's me. I think, I mean, maybe it's tough to say after they just played, but I would say don't rule Ebanks out. Um, his defense is crazy on that Ravens team still. And I mean, it just takes like a snow game or a rainy game in the playoffs when you're playing those teams that are under center and run the ball. It's not fun
Well,
for anyone.
Mhm.
we hear all the talk about Gibbs and Bijan when he was kind of before he was fat and Genty and these guys, but Keaton Mitchell in this game is he's freaky, man. He's one of those guys that if you miss the first tackle, he does that little thing where he gets the super speed boost and he's just gone. Um, I get a good look at it doing the fantasy stats every week, but I was shocked. Every week I go in and I'm doing the rushing stats and I'm doing the receiving stats for players, and Keaton Mitchell never catches the football, and I think that's weird because he has a skill set to be a nasty receiving back. So when I got to play Ebanks, I wasn't waiting on screens, I wasn't waiting on any nothing. I was just where normally that first quick read when you're blitzing is always going to be the running back. And not to blow up Eubanks' spot because he did run a screen against me, but Keaton Mitchell just never really catches the football. It felt like. But running the football, obviously, he is doing a great job. And then Lamar, again though, he doesn't really run with Lamar, which I think is also crazy because 96 speed. I mean, we're never going to see anyone close to that, especially a
It's
manager
super easy to
player.
be afraid of, though.
He moves different than everyone else.
Yeah, and I mean he tried to run with him the first play against me and he fumbled. I think it was a read option, but it's just like I would be you turn on that QB run play sheet where the guy gets like plus 10 carry or whatever and can do all the cool stuff, and I would definitely be utilizing that. It's funny you mentioned his defense because when me and him played, there was zero defense on either side. I think it ended up being like a 48-46 shootout or something where it was just I couldn't stop him, he couldn't stop me, and I just happened to go down the field to kick a field goal as time expired. But it was pretty crazy. So I didn't see his defense,
Well,
but
so he made the Super Bowl in the first season, right? And
yeah,
then I can't remember the second year, but last year he was gone for like I don't like week 13 through the playoffs. He got forced lost out of the wild card round, I think. So
yeah.
I think, the Ravens maybe didn't make noise last couple years, but he'll be around this year.
Well,
That's my pick.
it's also worth noting too that like he lost all of his players. Like every free agency, the top like three guys are all Ravens. The last two free agency
Yeah,
periods, he was
both
single-handedly
seasons.
funding.
Yeah.
Yeah, single-handedly funding free agency. So he's still in the mix, 9-4, sitting at the two spot. Yeah, Guac, who's your favorite in the AFC?
Not fucking E-Banks. It's
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I feel silly for having to say this as the third option, but Quacks, man. Like I just feel like sometimes Quacks has those games where I feel like he just sees black and he just goes absolutely crazy, and every aspect of Quack's game is unstoppable. I played him earlier this cycle. It was the funnest game that I've had all cycle long, but at the end of the day, I couldn't stop him, and I think once that offense gets momentum, it's over. Yeah, he has 4 wins, but I think I'm sorry, 4 losses, but those 4 losses have done nothing but humble his ass, and he's ready to push in the playoffs, in my opinion.
That's Glock said he just sees black. We don't see color in the XCFL, but
Well, no,
Jesus
no, see
Christ.
red is what I meant. I
I've been
yeah,
holding my breath for
yeah.
2 minutes.
But
What a wild way to start
Sorry,
that.
my bad.
but yeah, no, we talk about it every single cycle, but playoff games, it's a completely different monster when you get into playoffs. Like the rule, you got to be
Mhm.
stickler on the rules. You have to win big games in a row multiple times. And like Quack's really other. Did you make the Super Bowl the one year and then you won it the following year, or was that the
No,
yeah?
no,
I
I
think it was
lost.
vacation.
But one of the
I
things
only
that like,
won
go ahead.
a playoff game, I think, before last season.
And last year you only had to win one playoff game, two playoff games, but how that worked out. But no, I think because when you look at the AFC, obviously Brian, a couple of Super Bowls. You look, Quack's got his Super Bowl. BBD has a couple of Super Bowls. Doughboy got his Super Bowl this year. Higgy's the only other one in the AFC, and he's on the outside looking in, but he's the only other one with this with playoff Super Bowl. He's got two Super Bowls to his name and some playoff experience. Chaos made a run in one of the Maddens before he got stomped by Jiggy. But then you kind of scroll through and there's really nobody else, and both two computers teams in there. So I think the AFC, as much as we all picked our favorite, I think it's pretty wide open. Like you could see VVD get hot, you could see Brian kind of turn it on, you could see Quacks, Ebanks, the Doughboy could go on his run again. Texans was playing really well at the start of the year. Grizz sitting at 7-6. Do we think Grizz makes a run? Anyone?
Yeah, Grizz definitely makes the playoffs.
Yeah, he's struggling right now, but the Doughboy is. It looks like Doughboy is going to win that division, but Grizz might have to just win two of his last four, and he gets in.
Grizz might have been the closest game I had last season
Sure was.
Yeah, that
in the
Grizz
in
can.
week 18.
Yeah, Grizz can play. Grizz plays up to his competition and down to his competition. And the hard part with that is you can play up to your competition and still lose against a good user. But if you play down to your competition and you lose to someone you're not supposed to, it gets tricky. But he started out hot this year, so good to see that. It's going to be interesting. I think the AFC, the seeding is going to change. We got four games left, so we're going to see a lot of stuff. Someone could sneak in. If Higgy wins his last couple, he gets in. Chaos has a really tough schedule. I think he plays me, Bracket, and Pride after this game against Rob to finish off his season. So he, depending on if he sneaks out a win, but he's a dangerous user with a dangerous roster. Um, let's flip to the NFC and kind of go over some of that right there. Giants sit at the 1 seed, Vikings at the 2 seed, Panthers sitting at the 3, and then you got Atlanta sitting at the 4 seed, and then the wild card, which is just dangerous as well. Or no, Guac would technically be the 4 seed because he's winning his division, and JMO would be the 5. But then the 6 and 7 seed are Pride and Drew right now, um, which is horrible when you're looking at yourself being a 1 or a 2 seed, and you're like, oh, if the 2 seed bracket loses to Drew, I get to play Drew in the second round. Sick. Um, but it's pretty loaded over here. If Brian just asked, are there more Super Bowls over here? I have 3. Brap has one. Um, Drew has 4, and then that's about it. So I think it's probably pretty even right now. What did I say? Three for me, one for Brap, so four. We probably have
Eight.
yeah 8 or 9 over here, depending on how many Drew has, and then the AFC probably has 7 or 8 as well. So it's pretty even right now. Um, but just I mean, well, who's your guys' favorite to win the NFC? Let's start with you, Bracket, and you can pick yourself. If you're gonna pick yourself, then talk about who's the team you're scared of the most, I guess.
To win the NFC,
Yes, to be the Super Bowl representative from the NFC.
I'd like to say me,
You can
but
say you.
it's going to depend on who I get matched up with. I think that's um, there are 3 games in the NFC that concern me. Playing Brap, playing Nick, and playing Drew. Because in any one of those games, I mean 4 really. Pride definitely could whoop my ass too. I can promise you one thing: I will not lose to Fat again. That won't happen. Not in the playoffs. Not now. Not ever.
It gets really interesting because Drew plays you this week. He plays Fat Jazz Yoshi the following week. He plays Zeth, and then he finishes with me in week 18, where he beat Yoshi by 1 point a couple weeks ago, and he's lost to him before. So Drew's got a battle to kind of hold that 7 seed. Where if you look, Van, who's sitting, I think currently sitting, he just won this week. He's sitting at 8-6 technically now, so he won this week. But he has his schedule looks very favorable. He beat the
You got
yeah
Rams,
CPU.
Saints, Raiders.
Yeah, he's got CPU Niners. He beat this week. CPU Rams next week, and then he gets Chad, which is basically CPU, and then Higgy. So Van could easily go 3-1, 4-0, and jump in and grab one of these final spots, which would be very interesting because that would be talking about either the Lions missing or the Eagles missing, because Glock has
Mm-hmm.
pretty much locked up his division at 8-5, which is crazy.
Bullshit.
Um,
You go ahead and put Jiggy in as the Niners. I'll kill you. Don't you dare. Don't you fucking dare. I've been thinking about this when you were talking about it at the beginning of the podcast before we got on. You were like, "Oh, what if we fill these teams and
Oh,
someone's good?" If you fill the 5-7 Niners with a good player, I'm gonna be pissed.
we're,
I'm gonna
we're
be
gonna
so mad.
we're gonna go
Oh
Jiggy. We'll go Jiggy, Wings, and maybe Brent or somebody like that, and just load up the NFC
oh my
West.
god, dude.
Just
are we
yeah.
eliminating Sparty? What the fuck?
God.
Sparty needs to get his shit together. He had to give he gave force wins to like 2 CPU teams without his pick. He's sitting down here at the last place team. He's gonna get bracket #1 overall. Um, Especially with Riot winning this week, that makes things very interesting. The also interesting part is going to be the 2 computer teams that are going to be drafting in like the top 5, which takes like 2 spots
Yeah,
where people can't trade with. So that's
let's break down this tank war going in the top 5 here.
yeah, dude, it's gonna get well. Riot kind of proved that wrong by winning this week or last week. He played.
We
Did he
beat the
beat?
Texans.
Yeah, he beat the Texans this
We
week. So
beat you. Yeah.
which is wild because the Texans needed it for playoffs and Riot did not need it for his pick. But now, so Riot was probably mad, but it is what it is. Quacks, who's your favorite in the NFC right now?
I mean, it'd be silly not to say you. It doesn't seem like anything's rolling against you right now. Still no picks. Gonna get your whatever your wide receiver's name is back to full to full to full usage.
Who the
Um,
fuck is that guy?
the short dude, number
Oh, that's
4.
funny.
he's
Um,
five. He's 5'11".
Marquez?
Some people think 5'11" is pretty tall. So I
I
wouldn't call
think
it.
it's worthless.
It's
Whoa.
definitely.
worthless.
We will not. We will not.
Um,
I will not stand for any Marquise Worthy slander on this podcast.
yeah, it just feels like everything's rolling your way right now. The defense is humming. The quarterback's playing clean. I think Yoshi got you last year too, huh? That
He
was
did,
quite a
yeah.
run.
And then and then I still had to play Brap. I still had to play Chaos, and I still have to play. I played Zet this week, and then I finished with Drew. So there's a chance. I might not be one loss, but I clinch my playoff spot. But
You got
I
to be
think
close to clinching the division, right?
I think it's official that I've clinched the
Oh
division.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because
I didn't
At
realize
least in the
Drew's in second.
playoffs.
Yeah, Drew's
Yeah.
in second. But that, I mean, one thing, I mean, Glock's boy Brab he started the season 1-2, and then he's rallied off 10 straight wins since then, sitting at 11-2. Made it through all the suspensions. He lost those three players for 3 games apiece, and was able to fight through that. And he's sitting at 11-2 with a big win over the Lions that both of the Lion pride really needed. Brap, who or not Brap, Guac, easily mistakable. Guac, who
Oh,
who is your favorite to win the NFC?
oh, oh. To think I was going to piggyback and say oh, god damn it. Anyway, moving on. I think the clear answer here. I think Brackett finally gets over the hump. I think he's found something on offense. I think he learned something from getting absolutely shit canned against Doughboy. I think that there is an actual chance with you going one and done that Brackett wins a Super Bowl.
I
Dude,
resemble that remark.
Brackett's offense, he's got a bunch of funky plays with motion going around, and then it zigs back across. Like there's some crazy ones that you like,
I don't.
you just can't counter
Yeah,
sometimes. And luckily,
dude.
Drake
Yeah.
Drake May sailed a few, so I was able to sneak the win out there. But
But don't sleep on the fucking run game. Don't
yeah,
sleep on his
no,
run
for
game.
sure. And in the playoffs, you need a run game. Like that's
Yeah.
if you can't run you can't in this Madden you don't as much, but it definitely helps killing the clock. 5 minute, 6 minute
Like
drives.
yeah, like you said, in the weather situations too in the playoffs, those teams running an eye for him, bro. It's over. It's over. I think
Yeah,
the run game's too powerful. I think if he can figure defense out and make fewer mistakes, he's got it this year in the
yeah,
back.
dude. I don't want home field advantage in the playoffs because it's going to be snowing. I don't want home field. I don't want to play at home. Like I want to play on the road in these domes that the Falcons and the Vikings have and the Lions. But like,
Or
so
maybe
we'll see.
don't fucking win, dick.
Oh, it might not even be in my control. Brap's going to come out there and he switched to my exact playbooks and runs the exact plays I do. He's just trying to do everything I do. So it's like watching my games when I watch Brap now. Same plays. It's like all this maternity leave he had. He just spent watching my games, and now I'm doing
Possible.
Maternity leave.
it.
Still can't read.
No, no. But I posted my playbooks. He copy and pasted the exact same ones, and I was like, oh, here we go. He's got Gadget in there now, so we'll see. We'll see. It's gonna be a fun one. It's fun to end the year playing tough users because you kind of get a little test of not as much pressure because most people have clinched playoffs by then, but you get that little head start into your first playoff matchup because then you have to rally off 3 or 4 wins against good users, and you can't afford to take a loss. So it'll be interesting to see how everything shakes out because there's a lot, like we kind of talked about, a lot of big games these last couple weeks where a lot of this is going to shift around and change. So um, let me pull up. I want to pull up some of our league leaders because there's some rookies that are putting together some pretty decent years out here. I do think it is worth noting though, like defensively, I think the only defense in the AFC that I think there is to be like scared of would be Quax's. Um, like there's all the rest is going to be shootouts. I think where Quacks can force the fumbles, user picks, make the plays. Brian's defense, the players just aren't there. Like they're not elite players. Where Quacks has the elite players plus plus the user skill. So um, like I said, Ebanks' defense, I didn't get to see it. Chaos, his games are always 49-42. Like it's gonna get wild. But what do you? Well, I guess before we get into player stats, do you guys notice anything different with defense after we bump stuff up a little bit? You can be honest too.
I
Yes.
personally, yeah, personally, more picks, man. I've gotten 3 or 4, 5 picks, something like that, since the adjustments have been made. I feel like it's a lot more, definitely.
Yeah.
You have 5 picks in this entire season?
Yeah, it's not good. It's a lot more than I had before
Jesus
without
Christ.
usering. Without usering, but that's the thing. I had my DBs on my team: Tariq Woolen, Witherspoon, who's been X Factor the whole cycle. I've got the safeties none of them have been making plays unless they're user controlled. And now I feel like without user controlling, I feel like I am more often than not getting an interception.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I think
think.
they've like been. I mean, just kind of echo that. You see guys like undercut routes a little more.
Yeah,
Um,
and
I
that's
think
all.
they're
maybe like
physically
some.
closer to the receiver now, and that's what we
That's
wanted.
yeah, that's what we
Yeah,
needed. I didn't care much about the picks, but I really just wanted more.
Yeah.
The completion percentages are just so high, and if you shade underneath every time, or if you move, play your zones close, like then you're just getting killed over the top. But like now, I feel like they at least make some plays. The completion set percentage, like as you can see, there's still a bunch of guys over 70%, but there's a lot more double digit pick guys. I think the league, Hagee leads the league with 20. We got 19, 18. So there's definitely more picks, even if we're still seeing the decent completion percentages. And then sacks outside of the two computer
I'd still
products.
like to see those.
Yeah, dude.
Still like to see sacks a little bit more.
But I wonder though if it's because we're not seeing as much user pass rushing. Um, Because I mean, we in the XCFL, it's how it's always been. We've always seen the crazy sack numbers, and you could just that was just kind of how it was. It was guys were getting 20 plus sacks a year, and I don't even know what the current leader's at right now, but I can't imagine it's
31 for the team in week 14, 15 in week 15.
yeah we
31.
we only have three guys over with double digit sacks right now, so
Yep.
which is more realistic. I mean, obviously outside of Miles Garrett in real life. But these are numbers I'd like to see a couple guys. Maybe I'd like to see some of the elite edge rushers matter a little bit more because even the guys I'm scrolling through at the top here don't seem anything too crazy. Like I don't see I guess Miles Garrett's playing for the computer team, but you like to see those guys matter a little bit, or at least get to the quarterback and force incompletions. I'd like to see. So I think we're still going to tweak because I think I'd like to get scores a little bit lower. Because we still see some of the shootout games, and what's the highest point per game right
Not
now?
some of, a lot of the shootout games.
But yeah, no, I mean nobody over 40 points a game. Which last year I think we had like three or four guys over 40 points a game. Um, but you're still seeing a lot of 30 points a game, which is a lot. But definitely not as many, teams scoring 50, which is nice. Because
Yeah.
that was
Yep.
the Texans guy joined the league and goes, "Do you guys always score 50 points?" And I was like, "Dude, it's an offensive Madden this year, and the defense just is nowhere to be found sometimes." But um, guys in the chat, feel free let me know your opinions on the defensive changes as well. If you like them, you don't notice anything. I do think we're going to tweak a couple more things. Like I said, I'd like pass rush to be a little bit more. Maybe tweak pass reaction time a little bit more for the defense, just so they're at least reacting to the pass to go get and that's something that if we bump past reaction and we're seeing more picks, maybe we need to lower the interceptions so there's still some drop picks. But something I want to keep playing with as we go. But obviously, if we can get defense humming a little bit more, because I'd like to see like the elite defenses, 15 points a game maybe. Maybe you're keeping lower scoring ones, I guess. But who knows? It's just sometimes it's just how Madden's going to look. But um, I thought I could go player cards over here. I guess not. Let's take a look at some of the league leaders, though. That was one thing I wanted to look at. The little trio of running backs up there. Chaos's QB is having a massive year. Elijah Weston, he's almost a 99 overall now.
4,200 yards in week
Yeah.
15.
Yeah,
Jesus
49,
fuck.
49 touchdowns, 9 picks, 72 completion percentage, averaging 300 yards a game. A crazy year. Currently in first in the MVP, but that's because he played a game and nobody else has. But he's having a monster year, and then most of those completions are going to that stud tight end he drafted, Ben Cologne. 84 catches, 1,400 yards, 22 touchdowns. I believe he kept him under 32% this week. I hope so, or else that would be a big loss. But that's that Titans offense is rolling, and he is, like I kind of said, there's no defense there, so it's always a shootout. I think I looked at his last couple of games, and it was 4 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns. He had the one shootout at the Packers where I think he threw 6 touchdowns, so it's been a crazy game. McCoy up there in yards, but the 20 interceptions definitely hurts. Saying Marquise Davis obviously changed his scenery, was having a great year, but the pick numbers kind of shooting up there now. Obviously, Calvin Andrews balling. You get Richardson. Quacks, what's your take? Trading away McCoy, do you regret it? Are you taking the money out of it? Where are you at on Richardson?
He's all right. I haven't really like focused as much on him on offense. I've been sort of aimless, really. He definitely misses more throws. I mean, there's something to be said about that. But um, I think if I was like all in on him and running the ball with him and doing that whole song and dance, he'd probably be pretty damn good. But
Yeah,
He
Van
was
I
would
just
saving that for
haven't.
the
Van
playoffs. We're not
Van
fooled.
Van would like it made very clear he does not want any more tweaks to defense. And he also said Chaos has 3,900 yards of drags. So there's a shot at Chaos from Van. I didn't say it. Van said it. Um, and then you see the rookie Keegan Pryor. Drew. It was a rough start for Drew's season, but Pryor's rolling now. Obviously, he probably got a couple upgrade chips. 40 touchdowns, only 9 picks. Having a good season as well. Um, there's some good. I mean, Penix is balling. Milrow was sitting in first in the MVP when he got hurt. He has double-digit rushing touchdowns, or not hurt, suspended. He was having a huge year, and obviously things have slowed down there. Um, Block only 9 picks thrown. That's huge for you, sir. Look at
Huge.
that. That dude, Lance McCants for the Lions. He was
Lance
having
terrible
Man,
name.
his face. It's all bad there. But he was having a monster year until these last couple of weeks. I think he threw 5 picks, so he went from 1 interception to 6. But still having benched and then cut Jared Goff, and it's McCants' team now. They're in Detroit, and he's delivering. 30 touchdowns, 6 picks, and then you see Fields. We already talked about him, but 32 touchdowns, 6 picks as well. So that's the Lions are rolling, the Jets are rolling. Here's the little trio of running backs I was talking about, though. You get Genty, you have Forrest Berry in Minnesota, and then Bucky Irving down there with his 89 speed and 20 touchdowns and 0 fumbles, which is massive because
Bucky.
he's having a big year. But it is, I mean, the Patriots, dude, he's a rookie. Josh Lippett out of nowhere just doesn't even need to use Blaylock in the gadget game because he's got this Lippett dude running the football so well. So um, big years. I mean, Brackett, this is the dude you traded right after the draft with Guac.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
sent him a
just
first for
that's wild from Delaware State, from the
well future.
hometown.
What'd you
Hmm.
like so much about him? I think a lot of people were wondering what the hell was going on there.
Well,
What
I
was
didn't
the
realize that I only had one running back on the roster, and I wanted somebody that was faster than Donovan Edwards. I also
can't
really,
blame you there.
really liked his name.
Forrest Berry.
I
Forrest,
can respect
run,
that.
Forrest, run. And Alex said that he was just going to hold on to him if I didn't give him a first.
Yeah, that
And
that
I said, "What
was
do you mean you're just going to hold on to him?" He's like, "I will never give him a single touch, and he'll stay here." And I was like, "You're an asshole."
yeah, you
So then I gave him a
definitely.
first.
Yeah, I was gonna say you definitely I mean, overpaid. Whatever, a first round pick, probably a late first would have been.
Yep.
So, but I mean, dude, look at the average
It,
yards a game though. Shanty 142, and then everybody else is well eight almost 8.5 yards a carry for Barry, 8.2 for Lippett. Like I think that's the biggest issue with the defense though. Sometimes these run plays they bounce off guys or they squeak through or they juke one guy and then the whole defense just stops running and the pursuit's horrible and these guys are just gone for long touchdowns. And that's kind of what we see with these crazy yards per carry. I mean, seven and a
Mhm.
half, 6.4, 7 for Gibbs, 7 for Mitchell. Like 7 yards a pop is crazy. Like that's a lot of long runs. And I mean, yeah, the touches. You don't even have to give the guy like I don't know, like 149 carries, 155 carries. Like they're barely even scratching the surface. Chad, look at Chad's guy, dude. Only 8 touchdowns though for Donovan Goodwill. Um, but yeah, that's that. We'll get into that too because that's one thing I want to talk about is what's your guys' biggest gripe on Madden 2026 so far, so we can kind of talk about that as we make it through this. Receiving wise, Big catch numbers. Marvin Harrison, he might be breaking 70 or 32%. Cologne up there. Oliver, obviously, the Guac's up there. He's having a good cycle. Brian Thomas up there. Worthy up there. Hayes coming along there for the Titans. And then
Is
Miguel Chavez, the other rookie tight end. He's a monster. He got a game winner against Rob and went up and mossed him in the end zone. 6'6",
oh
250
sick.
with some speed. Yeah, he's a beast. But he is, yeah. I think he
Is
needs to slow down with him a little bit so
Miracle
he improves.
Marv, is he still in Arizona?
Yeah, and that's
Okay.
85 catches, not even over 1,000 yards. But I know that Sparty's offense is a lot of short throws, so like he might have well over 250 completions. So then he's probably good. But usually
I
that's
mean,
how
he
it
also
goes.
has had like 6 sims in the last, well, not six, but 4 sims at least
You're
this
you
year.
you're usually good if you get one or two sims. They throw the ball like 30 times and complete 25 of them, and it usually helps. Unless they throw 'em like my sim where they threw every ball to Worthy and it just screwed me in 32% last year. But usually one computer game gets you back on track with 70-30 or 32%. Yeah, very
Every
good.
time when I'm checking 70/30s and I like go on a game that I didn't realize was a sim, the numbers are
Oh
insane. They'll
yeah.
throw the ball 52 times.
Yeah, it's nuts, dude, because they bank it off 12-minute quarters. And
Yeah,
they
yeah.
get you go to the most penalized teams and it's all the computer teams or the guys who have the most sims. Like they play a real football game where we get our 7-minute quarters and they get the full 12 minutes to do whatever. You look and there's both running backs have double digit carries. Like you're like, what the hell happened here? So, um, oh yeah, Higgy said his guy has been benched for 3 weeks, so he is in good standing now. Oh, Guac's boy or Quax's boy, C right. He's a fun dude. Six
He's
four
back in
two,
there.
6'4", 230. That's a big dude. But he
Big
was sitting
fellow.
out, yeah, sitting out the last couple. Bracket Sal Anthony down here, yeah. Interesting year. A lot of big stats. It started out really hot with a lot of big numbers, especially doing fantasy. I was seeing like 40-point games for a lot of players, and then everything kind of slowed down as we started getting closer to the 32% deadline, and I was like, okay, people are figuring it out now. So that was good to see because I was like, we might see a lot of people in trouble. Because I'm doing my math on Worthy, and I'm like, these guys have more catches than Worthy. They are going to be in trouble because I monitor my shit like a hawk. So when I see someone way over him, I'm like, oh boy. Um, tackle numbers. That's not where you want to be because that means you are on defense a lot. Look at the most picks. That's what I want to see. 9 picks for the linebacker in Green Bay. And Jamal Branch right behind him, the stud in Cleveland. This is
Oh, I threw 3 to Cooper.
yeah. You get
He
Josh
got me
Down.
for 3.
Dude, Josh
Fucker.
Downing. Josh Downing's the guy that bracket or the computer drafted Brian, and I was like, dude, this dude's a stud. If he didn't have 87 speed, but he's put it together. And then Bobby Payton, he's having a massive year too, even missing a couple games. 6 picks for him at linebacker for the Panthers. And then Chauncey Gardner Johnson, he just had a 14 tackle game, which I thought was interesting in a game that was played, not a sim. Like that was one of the highest tackle totals I've seen in a while. So, um,
That's impressive.
yeah, 14 is crazy to see. But yeah, that's we'll go ahead and bounce out of here. But let's jump to our next topic though. That's what I want to get to. I want to kind of talk where are we at with this game. I know we're all so hyped to kind of get back into it. How are
Hmm.
we feeling now, Quax? Let's start with you. What's your biggest gripe about Man 26? And
Well,
if you can't just say defense, we got to get specific. But yeah, go ahead.
yeah. Everyone else may not know. I'm sure you guys know. I was not hyped to get back in the game. I
That's
drug my
true.
feet. I didn't want to do this. I liked college football,
Yeah,
but I must say that I think what they've done with franchise, just the mode in general, has saved the Madden experience for me. The game is, there's issues, but I think it's a really good game overall. I think my biggest gripe, hands down, is pursuit on defense.
yeah.
Everything else, it's like, I can sort of make do with it because it happens to both teams. We're both playing the same game, yada yada yada. But the pursuit stuff just makes like drag routes and swing routes and flat
Yeah.
routes and boring routes way too good, because if you get one on one with a corner, the computer's making the tackle one time out of 10.
Yeah. I would agree with you
Yeah.
there. And I can get to mine after you guys go. But Bracket, where are you at with it?
I mean, to play off of what he said, it would be the big plays for me.
Yeah.
There needs to be a tighter grouping of consistency. Um, I'll tell you, I score a lot of points, right? And I'll tell
Right.
you that at least 2 times a game I'm scoring over 50 yards. And
Yeah.
it's not because I'm better than everybody. It's they're just fucking open, or they break one tackle and then it's gone.
Yeah.
Um,
It.
and it's fun, right? And I'm sure that that's part of it, is that Madden's a video game. It's supposed to be fun.
Yep.
But for those of us that appreciate the realism and the things that we do to try to make things more normal, I
Brian
would
said.
like to see it be a little bit more consistent.
Brian said he knows it's not because you're that much better than everyone else, Kevin. He posted that in the chat.
Did he say that?
Yeah, he said
Oh
we
wow,
know we
that's
know
super super nice of him.
we know it's
Yeah,
not.
leading the league in scoring. Tag it.
Yep.
That was not nice. I'm sorry.
Whoa.
We gotta.
Yes, stealing your inner guac. Hell yeah. Let's go.
You made me upset. I'm sorry.
It is, but it is like a
That
double-edged
was not
sword with
necessary.
that. You see too many big plays, and you want to see drives get put together, and people have to drive down the field. But then, like Quack said, all the underneath stuff is just so open, or catch after run, or broken tackles, or big. You get big plays from that. So like, you really don't even have to put
Yep.
together a real drive, which is the problem. Yeah, it's very interesting. Glock, what about you? Where's your head at on this?
Clearly, obviously, we all know that defense is a problem. That's been talked about. I do think that the improvements that we've made so far are definitely helping. I think we're almost there to at least make it somewhat more enjoyable. I honestly think I wonder how much of like the XP and stuff. I wish there was an easier way for us to control the
Yeah.
XP, because realistically, how bad could defense really be? How bad is defense? But it doesn't really help that we have 90 overall rookies after one season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody is 90 overall.
Yep.
I mean, if you're doing it right, most of your players are 90 overall. And how much does that contribute to our defense sucking? Does the
Yeah.
defense really suck that bad, or is it just because everybody's got 90 overall players at every freaking position on their team?
Yeah, that was where like after we couldn't ban camp counselor after the first draft because the first draft class already got it. So it would have been stupid to ban it, and then everyone had first round picks in the first draft has rookies that are already 90, and then everyone else just gets like the normal XP. But yeah, that's tough. The in our XP, like we are crazy low on our XP sliders. Like all other leagues run at stock XP for the most part, and I mean like our quarterbacks are set at 40, running backs are set at 40, receivers are set at 38 out of 300. Like it's
We
just
would for sure have 150.99 overalls.
yeah, it's 100%. It's crazy. I think my biggest issue with the game though is, and it's hard because like Glock said, everyone's 99 overall. But I would like to see if a dude is a stud at his position. I'd like to see him be like a legit difference maker, whether it's a corner, a safety, a edge rusher, D tackle, quarter, whoever it is. Like they get the ability to get the X factor, but like if you throw at a 99 overall corner, I would like him to make plays. Like I would just like to see a difference, and that's what abilities are supposed to do. But when everybody has the same abilities, it is what it is. But like, I would just like to see those guys be actual studs, where you have to look at your play call screen, find where Derwin James is, and not throw to Derwin James or not run at Derwin James. And I think it's the case for some positions, obviously like the middle linebackers. But like
I avoid the middle like the plague
yeah,
against you.
well
There's
even
no reason
yeah,
to be
oh yeah,
anywhere near the middle.
no. And that's like any same thing with like if you're playing, and I will say the pat when the elite edge rushers get in the zone, they make a difference. I would say, especially in passing situations, or even running. I will not run at a Micah Parsons when his X is just blinking red. I'm like, I know he's gonna just shed right away and get me. So I would just like that to be the case for everybody. Everybody who is elite at their position. Like if a corner is in the zone, that corner should be locked up on that receiver. Um, but I get it. It's hard, and kind of like you said, Brad. It's a game for kids, and people like offense. They don't want to see, no one wants to play a single mode franchise, and win like 13-7. Like nobody would keep playing. So the high scoring,
Yep.
it just that's why going to those modes they created, they never really fully built off the whole comp sim arcade mode, which would have been really cool to do, and just go to like the extremes where like if you play arcade mode, there's fire coming off the ball. If you're playing sim mode, like it should be very realistic. So um, I think that's something they could still really build on, because I feel like they're too
That would
similar.
be fun.
Like the only difference between like comp and sim is like they took fumbles out in comp because it doesn't take skill. So like um, I guess it takes some of the randomness out of it, where sim keeps some of that randomness in. But I think that would be the biggest thing. And what about wear and tear? Wear and tear was huge in college football for a little bit. Do you guys notice wear and tear in this game at all? I don't think I really have.
I don't notice it week to week like you're supposed to. It's supposed to build up right
Hmm.
over the season. That's part of the
And
big feature that they added.
over the season
Um,
and over the career, it's supposed to build up too, but it doesn't.
right.
I can tell you.
And in college football, you were like taking your starting quarterback out
Yeah,
like in important drives
yeah.
because he had minus 12 throw power,
Yeah,
you
and
know?
those don't even pop up in Madden. Like they don't even like show you mid game really like, hey, your quarterback's dead. Where college football, it's like in your face. Your quarterback has minus 16 throw power, minus 13 speed, and you're like, oh shit, should probably get him
Oh
It
out of
does.
gosh.
here.
It feels like that feels more college football than the NFL,
Yeah,
but they definitely either toned it down or it's just not really a focus.
it would be really cool though to see Genty getting as many carries as he does, or Worthy touching the ball and returning kicks. Like their career should be shorter. Like they're somebody like that. They shouldn't last as long if they're getting that many touches or getting hit sticked all the time. So it would be cool if they could make that work. But I get it. No one wants to play a single player franchise mode and have their quarterback get sacked 40 times and he only plays 6 years and he retires. So um, it's again a double edged sword. But they're never going to cater to us. We're definitely in the the minority of people playing this game.
Sure.
But I do think, like Quacks, you kind of said that Madden, like we could have came if we would have came back to a Madden and it would have just been like the same thing. It would have been pretty underwhelming because we took a year off from it. Like it would have. But we came back and all of a sudden, like you're looking at these coaching trees and abilities and play sheets, and everyone's like, "What the fuck does all this mean? Like, what do I want? What do I do?" And you had to really look because you could buy new ones, you can earn upgrades. You're like, I don't know. Like everyone's trying to pick what matters, and even when you tried to like do test franchises, it was just so much information that I was like, I just gonna pick the five I like and stick with them the whole cycle. So, um, but it was cool to come back to something different. That was, and the playbooks too. I think they hit the playbooks out of the park.
Yeah,
Like,
that and playbooks are huge for me, like something I really like digging into.
yeah.
And I was stoked on the college football playbooks. And the Madden ones are even better.
Yeah, and I'm really happy because XCFL, for those of you who don't know, was always custom playbooks. We were always custom playbooks from the start to Madden 20, the one season of Madden 25. Um, and I think going to stock playbooks because of the play sheets was so cool because you can pick the same playbooks, but then you get a couple different play sheets, and all of a sudden you open up, five new formations that someone else might not have. So, and I feel like most of the play sheets give you some pretty cool plays, whether it's the red zone one, the air raid one, the quarterback run, the option stuff, like whatever you are missing. If you want wildcat because your playbook doesn't have wildcat, it lets you pick different playbooks and still add in some of those key formations you might want. So that was, I think,
I
a
do love that. I
huge,
love the variety.
yeah, and
You
it can
can bring in a
change
new game
with,
plan week to week.
yeah, depending on who you're playing. Like that's you can finally plan for your opponent. Like there used to be games in past Maddens where Brian's hit me up like, dude, I'm out of 3-4 plays against Pride. He's in I formation and strong eye all game. What the fuck am I supposed to do? And I was like, I don't know, dude. Like you just got to figure it out. But now in here, you can go add more heavy defensive formations. Like if you're playing a user that runs the football, if you're playing a guy that passes the ball deep, you get the deep zone one on. Like and you can kind of pair the abilities you choose with the play sheet you choose for the guy you're playing against, which is really cool. So that's something that I think they really knocked out of the park. I'm still not huge on the abilities because I think they're designed like the player abilities. Like I think they're designed to make players like special, but some of them are just duds. Some of them don't help at all. Like I think the ability reroll that we did is pretty cool, where you can kind of, save your player instead of, a running back getting stuck with return man or something. You can give him something that he might actually use. Um, Maybe the answer is lowering how many X factors we have. So, like, I don't know. It's something where making those guys who do have the abilities and superstar abilities stick out more. Um, I don't know what the answer is, but being our first man at back, we didn't want to mess with stuff too much because but we
Good
thought
to know what
about
they did.
yeah, and we thought about capping abilities per team. Like you could only have so many players on each position group on each side of the ball with abilities, because then it would make people have to think. Like if you can only have let's say 8 people with abilities, do you want to go 6 of them on offense, 2 on defense? Do you want to bolster your whole D line? Do you want to bolster your secondary? Like it could turn into a little chess match of how you build your roster out too. Which could be another fun chess match there, which was tempting, but I think with the dev regression and stuff, you don't see too many teams with more than like 10 guys with abilities outside. I think when we did when I looked at it after that one season, there were only like 3 users that were over over 9 ability players on their roster. So um, I don't know. It's more things we can tweak and kind of fix as we go, but I don't think the game is in a bad spot. I think the people who really didn't like Madden were kind of the ones who couldn't come to grips with we're not playing college football anymore. The busies and that kind of thing, where it was kind of like I'm just not gonna like this game no matter what. It is what
Yep.
it is. But I think
Yep. Yep. Yep.
but I also think this has woken us back up to like playing against the computer sucks. Like,
Yep.
Oh my god,
dude,
I'm
like
doing it right now. I'm gonna blow my brains out.
regardless of scheduling issues and waiting an extra 24 hours to play, like I would take this where every game matters. You're even games, where college out of conference didn't even matter, but in here, if you're playing the opposing conference, like you still need it to win your division. Like just like in the NFL, every week matters. And I think just and you get to play, pretty much everybody with how the NFL cycle schedules, and still create those division rivalries. I think having the user versus user games is so much more fun. Um, what did Higgy just say? If you kept X Factor Superstars, would you tweak regression since Dev? Yeah, that would be interesting. We'd have to see. The goal for us is always going to be to keep the ratings as low as possible. Like if it was up to me, we'd have 499 overall players at one point in the cycle. Like we'd want to keep it where we don't want everybody 99 overall, which is kind of what we are at now. So many guys 90 and above, but so we'd have to look at that. That would be a lot of testing pre-game before we got into it, but I think there's a lot of things we can really do. And I hope they keep building on some of this because some of it's really cool. I would like to see some of the players in the draft class. I'd like to see some of them be a little better. Like safeties are so bad. To not have a single fast quarterback in this day and age of college football is also pretty wild. Um,
Yeah,
like
like even if he sucks,
just
just
you'd at least
somebody's got to be
see
fast.
you'd see some 90 speed guy somewhere in there. So and maybe we will. I don't know. I haven't simmed that many draft classes outside of here, so maybe at some point we will. That'll be cool and exciting. But as of right now, there's just certain positions you have to trade for because if they don't have speed, they are probably never going to get speed. So with the way upgrade chips are, um, what other positions do you guys think? I do think what's cool is there are a lot of elite speed receivers, but we aren't seeing like a ton of 99 speed receivers. I think we only have like 3 in the league right now. Um, I think we used to have the issue where like we'd see the 99 speed receivers and then the top corner would be like 95 speed, and you're like, well, that doesn't match up because those guys are supposed to cover those guys. Um, what would you change
Speed is
about?
just impossible to upgrade. All the physical
Yeah,
abilities or physical
yeah,
attributes.
yep. Yeah. The fastest corner right now is Nate Wiggins at 96. There's 3 96 speed corners. 2 of them play for the Commanders. Um, 5. There's 6 96 speed corners. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think we're seeing a pretty decent draft class though. Like the linebackers have speed, the running backs are coming in with a ton of speed. It's really just quarterbacks are. And I wonder maybe it's because we put quarterbacks so low on the or like weak on the strength of draft class. But that's supposed to only diminish the amount
That's just the
of
number, right? The number of good ones.
the amount of first round quarterbacks essentially. So and I think that's doing its job nicely. We're still seeing like probably there comes in like 4 of them with a first round talent grade, but then like only 2 of them are actually like first round grades, and then the other 2 get taken later. So um, I think that's pretty good for the most part. Because really, I just wanted to create just like in real life how there's never outside of a couple drafts, there's never 5 franchise quarterbacks that get drafted in the first round like that. That never happens. So there's usually like 2, and they all go 1 and 2, and then the rest just go fall in the third round or something. So, um, what's the one thing I guess you guys like the most about this Madden? It can be gameplay related. It can be. I guess we covered a bunch of them, but
Well, I hate to say offense,
yeah,
but like it's so much fun. It's so much fun, to succeed on offense. Though it's very easy in this Madden. It's very great. The feeling you get after an 80-yard touchdown run, you're like, ah, fuck, I'm invincible. It just that slight adrenaline rush, that little dopamine hit. That's perfect.
yeah. I think and then the guy does it right back to you, or you go on like a 16 play scoring drive and put together a great scoring drive touchdown or whatever, and then the other guy
Hmm.
one plays touchdowns you right back, and you're like, well, that was anticlimactic right
From while
there.
it
So
lasted, yeah.
yeah, that was, or a kick return or something. Braga, what about you? What's your favorite part about the game? I guess.
Not having to play the computer,
Yeah.
making everything matter. It really is. You can't say it enough.
Yeah, I think that's a big one, and it gave us the ability to broadcast games weekly too. Like even doing like the John Baugh did like the pick'ems in college football, and there's like 3 user versus user games a week sometimes, and sometimes not even. So it's just this time like I find myself watching games, like I'm watching people's games, I'm tuned into the playoff games. Like college, I started out watching them, and then I just stopped watching everything after like the second season. I didn't want to see someone beat the computer by 45 and have to sub out their players. So I think that's huge. Quacks, what about you?
I kind of said it already, but I think it's the play sheets and
Yeah,
to a lesser extent the coach abilities, the coach trees.
yeah, that's a
I
big
like
one.
I hoping they expand on the play sheets even more next year.
Yeah.
It'd be really cool.
It would be. I would even like to see him take it a step further and go with like you build out a full coaching staff, like of like position coaches, and everything plays a role. I'd like to be some chemistry effect in there too. Like if you have a bunch of former players or something, they team up and chemistry boost something, or if you have your DB's coach, like something like that, where you can promote from within. Other people can hire your quarterback's coach to be their offensive coordinator. Like it would just do a whole bunch of cool things too. I think there's just so many options that they can still build into this. But if they would ever talk to us, maybe they would find out some of them. I also really love the weekly recaps. I wish they were better, and I wish you got to see one for each game. And I wish it was like a couple plays of each game, kind of like the Chris Berman like highlight show at the end of the week, where it's like 4 or 5 plays from each game, and right now it's just they show one play and then they just show the quarterback stats, and it's like the quarterback threw for 120 yards. Why are you showing the quarterback stats in the box score? Like, give me the guy who just ran for 200, something. So, but that would be cool to be able. Even if you had to go click on the game and it showed you like a quick video recap of some of the top plays in it, it would just be cool to kind of see and scout your opponent, see how they scored, different things like that. I just think like hopefully this is like the building blocks for some of it moving forward. Um, but I think like they're definitely on a good spot here. I also I thought I didn't like it. I liked how the rosters kind of flipped in college football every 3 to 4 years. It was kind of fun to have to use new players. But then college football, it just kind of like you'd have guys waiting, and that you really didn't lose much at the top schools. But it's fun to watch people build out players' careers. Some guys using the real players, some guys using Madden gens, some guys. I mean, we're about to see cap room and stuff really play a role, which will be the first time in the XCFL we've ever seen cap kind of matter. Because some of these contracts, like if you haven't been preparing for a couple seasons for some of these contracts, good luck, because it's hard to free up 56 million to pay a quarterback, or like that's not something you can just roll over and be good to go. So but like trying to sign people in different years to different lengths, so when this guy's contract ends or lessens, I have this guy coming up, and just like moving around. But to that point, I would like to see more ability to manage that cap space like you can in real life, because or just show me a better salary screen where I can like project years out how I'm looking more, and it'll show me the totals and different things.
Yeah,
It's
let's not make me do
crazy.
math.
It's crazy that they don't have a
Dude,
total on each year at the bottom
yeah,
of the cap screen.
they should have a deal with what's the website where you can look at all the contracts? What is it? Sport
Over the
track
cap.
or sport whatever, one
Spot
of
track.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah, spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would just be cool to have some deal with them where you could just like pull up your roster sheet and you just see everything. Well, this guy gets this much. If you cut him here, this is the best time to cut this guy because you save this much, or this is how much dead money you have. Like, it would just be explain. Like, I can't imagine being like a 13-year-old playing this game and trying to figure out
Oh,
why I'm 200 million in the red because I cut a bunch of people with big like. I would flip
if
off
you,
that.
yeah, I mean, if you go on like people online that play Madden franchise, like 9 times out of 10, they're just like, oh yeah, I turn it off because I don't
Yeah.
understand the cap.
Yep. Or we have to, because if you don't, oof, if you cut a guy at the wrong time, whatever it is. What did Higgy say? Higgy said, "What's the average speed of the sack leaders? Curious what that looks like. I have mid-80s linebackers and edge, get a lot of pressure, but they seem a step late. I think speed. I would rather have a fast guy at defensive end. This is just me talking, but I'd rather have a fast guy defensive end than a guy with abilities. Obviously, a fast guy with abilities would be preferred,
Mhm.
but like Brian Burns doesn't even have edge threat or any like pass rushing things, but he just gets to the quarterback so fast. If he does get off the block, it's just like he just goes flying in there. I think both of my edge rushers are 87 speed with some excel. And even if you can just make them wait an extra second because they see your user kind of near the guy they want to throw to, it really helps. And same thing, D tackle, Glock. Like if you get an 80 speed D tackle or a 79 speed D tackle, that pocket, like
Mhm.
if they're able to shed in that middle of that pocket, all of a sudden that pocket is gone. So
It's like one step to the QB. It's crazy.
yeah. Now Bracket, what's your rookie's DN speed? He wasn't too fast, was
83.
he? Yeah, see, that's not crazy
And
fast.
another sack for the boy just now. Let's
Yeah,
go.
he's 83 speed, 84 excel, so nothing crazy there. But he's got fearmonger. He's got some good ability. Strip specialist, reach, elite, run stopper. I would like to see him expand on some of the abilities, but who knows? Or I'd like to maybe tier him out a little bit so you get like gold edge
The
threat,
badges,
silver,
just like they
yes,
did
yeah,
in campus or in college football. I don't know why they
yeah,
didn't stick with that.
yeah. That would have been college football, and yeah, kind of how they kind of went the 2K route where like because it would
Right.
be it would
Yeah.
be it would be cool if a guy could get jukebox, but his juke is still a little bit slower than one of the elite guys with 97 jukebox. He gets the
Hmm.
gold or elite tier, and then because then I think you would see guys play differently. Right now, if two stud guys have jukebox or two guys have jukebox, one guy could be an 85, one guy can be a 99, and they juke the exact same. So It would just be, which
Yeah, and,
yeah,
and like the barrier to entry then matters because like you now, I mean, I'm not going to go in and look at it, but I'm sure there's guys with jukebox that have like or that qualify for jukebox in the game that have
yeah,
like 83 juke or
yep,
something
for sure.
lame. And it's the same jukebox that the dude with 98 juke
Yep,
gets.
it needs to be different. Brian makes a good
Yeah,
point
but
that
like
none
in
of us. Go ahead. You can finish with this.
it's just yeah, I mean, irrelevant. Go ahead.
Yeah,
What did Brian
no,
say?
yeah. Brian was just talking about the player movement is just better, which I think is so true. And I think coming from college football, once you switch to play Madden, college football to me seemed a little bit more arcadey, where guys were like kind of gliding around and stuff like that. Where Madden has its moments where all of a sudden the running back kicks in like a speed boost or comes off a cut and just takes off. But I like the movement on defense. I like the movement. The pocket movement's pretty good. Um, this is the best the movements felt in Madden in a long time. I just wish the pursuit and stuff kind of went along with it. Or I wish you could tune pursuit, but that's not an option. So because upping tackling wouldn't help because they just are nowhere near the guy they're supposed to tackle most of the time. So, but I think that would be. But they're on the right. They're on the right track here, and I think they can keep building off some of the stuff they put in, and it would really take us game to the next level. So hopefully it's not an every other year thing, and they keep Madden going. But I think we solidified that like what's better for the community is going to be the 32 person Madden league. Like we thought at first having 120 or 135 teams was cool, but then like it's not fun watching someone that's Oregon beat up on a 64 overall Oregon State.
Oregon State.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like the game is over at halftime and you're chewing clock the whole time. So, um, I just think I think the user games, even if you're playing a user who might not be as good, at least it's user controlled and they can if we need to have a class for some of our users, like if you're getting beat by the same player or the same play type and you're not doing anything to try to stop it and you're just letting it keep happening, you gotta make a play, man. Like if they're running the same play or same concept and you're just letting it happen, something's gotta go off and it's like, oh, maybe I should user cover the flat where the tight end keeps going, or the drag always comes right here. Maybe I should user this guy. So someone might need to lead a little class. Maybe Guac will do it.
Oh boy.
Well, that's great. That's a real good idea, Nick.
Teach
So
everybody.
here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna line up at D tackle on every play.
Yeah, what you're gonna do is you're not gonna let that little green circle go anywhere but the D line.
No, but that's a lot of. I think the guys who are still struggling in defense or don't notice a change, it's the adjustments are just not being made. Like you can't. They're not going to do it for you. You can't just sit at D tackle or sit at one spot. Like you got to be changing up who you're using. You got to be mixing up man and zone. You got to be shading whatever. You got to be bluffing your coverage. Like there's a bunch of different bluff coaching abilities you can get where they bluff them for you. Like you don't even have to go in and pick your coverage stuff. So, and I think the in-game abilities they boosted too with like moving the safeties around. If you want to like in the red zone, you can bump your safeties down lower so they're not just standing at the back of the end zone with their heels on the white, like letting the guy catch the curl route in the middle of the end zone. Um, but more control of that is better. Yeah, but I think we're in a good spot. I think the game's headed the right way. Hopefully we keep going. Oh, Lamar just completed 94% of his passes in this game. Who did he play? Oh, 94% is pretty good. Oh, he played Willie. But yeah, we can probably go ahead and end it here. I think it was a pretty good one. Kind of just bounce around, talk a little about the game, a little about playoff pictures, some of the highlights, some of the players. I think it's a pretty decent podcast. We'll be back. I'd love to broadcast a bunch of first round playoff games, and I'd love to get the Super Bowl if we don't play it at 1 a.m. and have two viewers. So we'll kind of keep that in mind as we kind of go through things. But yeah, thank you guys for hopping on. Thanks to everybody who was hopping in chat. I think we ended up getting 10, 12 viewers at max, which is pretty good for 11, 15 a night. So let's go ahead and close up here. Finish the season strong. Make sure you get your guys under your percentages because that announcement is coming. And then just a reminder, because we have to do it, but playoffs, the rules matter more. If you break a rule in the playoffs,
Whoa, don't say it like that.
you're gonna get hit.
don't,
Like
don't say it like that.
it's gotta be.
The
They
This
matter
is
all the same.
suspensions
The
we've
are
suspensions
seen
much
heavier.
worse.
we've seen too
Yeah.
much. We've just seen too many rule violations in the playoffs, and then you're knocking somebody out who didn't break the rules and deserves to be there. We had the 70-30. We had the 70-30 man zone. We had there's just we have fullbacks at playing or running backs playing fullback. It just your playoff, get your depth chart right, get everything set for the playoffs if you're a playoff team, and let's have a clean playoff run. Now that I say that, I'll be the one to break 70-30 in my playoff game or something. So that'll be what happens. But
Worthy at fullback incoming.
yeah. Hey, if you could put a gadget there, he would already done it. Little fullback screen or something. That'd be sick. Chaos got his dude taking his tight end taking carries.
It's just crazy.
It's just gotta do what you gotta do to keep him in the race, Um, but that's not a bad idea. Get him in the goal line back. But cool. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. We will talk to you guys later and see you as we finish up season 79, headed into season 80, which is absolutely insane. This will be next year will be my 78th season in the XCFL, which is absolutely nuts to think about. But let's keep it going, I guess,
Hell yeah.
All right, sounds good, fellas. I will talk to you guys later and see you in the playoffs. Some of you. See you.